All praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash. Next, I want to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Lord's elect. To my left here is one of their brothers over there on YouTube. Go watch, be edified, fair use, fair use.
1837, on the Portuguese slave ship the Aragante, the captain killed an enslaved man, cooked him, and made the other enslaved people eat him. What? And the crew ate the organs. In 1831, after Nat Turner's rebellion, they desecrated his body after his execution, and then some sources state that they boiled down his body to a medicinal substance for white people to consume as an act of final triumph. Vincent Woodward has a whole book about the incidents of this happening, the consumption of black bodies, not just literally, but physically, intimately. It's well documented. And within that book, there's another slave owner, a Kentucky man, who butchers and cooks an enslaved person in front of other enslaved people as a form of psychological terror. And then in 1888, the Mercury in Philadelphia releases an expose exposing white doctors who are tanning the skin of black people to make shoes and cigar boxes. Oh my God. One of the physicians was quoted as saying that black skin makes a specifically enduring leather. There was also cases in Mississippi of them making belts and purses and things from black skin. They also used black babies as alligator bait. That's documented in multiple sources. They thought it was so hysterical they made postcards about it. Would use them as bait to hunt alligators, or would just feed them to alligators. If you really want to go for a wild ride and you can stomach the truth, Thomas Thistlewood's diaries, called the Thomas Thistlewood Papers or the Thistlewood Papers, the slave owner himself kept a documented, detailed diary of all of the torture he inflicted on his slaves, including 3,800 cases plus of SA against black women, probably one of the most common crimes across the slave trade against black women. And he also invented what was called the Derby's dose, where he would flog a slave and then rub pickle juice or lime juice into their skin and then make another enslaved person defecate in their mouth. Typically, those kind of infractions would be eating a piece of sugar cane because they were hungry. And no, Miss Ma'am, you don't know who you're talking about. Madame Lalaurie did not eat her slaves. What she did do is chain them up with iron collars, where she tortured, mutilated them, peeled their skin into strange shapes, and then murdered them. Just because you people are not educated enough to know what actually happened and you don't want to believe it because it makes you uncomfortable, doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Malachi 1 and verse 4, whereas Edom, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi hath indignation forever. You see, y'all getting ready to pay for that. The chickens are coming home to roost. Let's get Daniel's 9 and verse 12. And it ups like it. And it reads, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore hath Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi washed upon the evil and brought it upon us. For Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, our power, is righteous, and all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. And now, O Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, our power, that has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and has gotten thee a renown. As at this day we have sinned, we have done wickedly, O Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, I beg thee, let thine anger and thy fury be turned away from thy city, Jerusalem, the holy mountain, because for our sins and for the iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and thy people are become a reproach to all that are about us. Let's get Esau. Let's get some. We going into Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, who's ruling the world in wickedness, some top banking families. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Genesis 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelleth Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. All right, now I got that because, so like we're going to go to Ezekiel 35. Prophesy against Mount Seir. Remember, Esau, Edom. Moreover, the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So the Lord said, prophesy against it. We'll come back here. Isaiah 47 and verse 6. It reads, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Neither didst remember the latter end of it. You didn't remember your latter end, man. And we're at your latter end, verse 7 in the NLT. You said, I will reign forever as queen of the world. You did not reflect on your actions or think about their consequences. You see? Chickens are coming home to roost. You devils are getting ready to pay for what y'all have done to the Lord's people. Every single last one of you heathen. Ezekiel 35. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, Babylon the great, America, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, power, I will compare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and in the midst of World War III, at its climax, in thy hills and in all thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, because thou hast said, These two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi was there. That's the northern and southern kingdom, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, They are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, in all Idumea. That's the Greek way of saying Edom, the so-called white man, even all of it. And they shall know that I am Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, and what else did you devils do? Therefore, thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, the Greek way of saying Edom, the so-called white man, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So the Lord has something special for you devils, for stealing our heritage, for destroying his heritage, and for stealing his land. Isaiah 34 and verse 5. It says, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, those ICBM nuclear missiles. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Didn't the Lord say all of it? All of Idumea. Edom. And America is symbolic for Edom. So, Edom is symbolic for America, Slakia. Come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse of judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, had the sacrifice in Basra, symbolic for America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Why, Lord? Verse 8. For it is the day of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. See, that's why you devils are going to war. That's what the war of Armageddon is about. For all you heathen to be paid back for the atrocities that you have done to the children of Israel. Joel 3 and verse 1 in the NLT. At the time of those events, says Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, when I restore the prosperity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahawashi, over there in the so-called Middle East. There I will judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. Verse 3, they threw dice to decide which of my people would be their slaves. They traded boys to obtain prostitutes, and sold girls for enough wine to get drunk. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 20, Behold, saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, So will I do also in recompense of their bosom. Thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi power. Y'all are going to war. Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, all you heathen. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your prune hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah. Bahasham Yahawashi, y'all gonna have to deal with our big brother, Yahawashi Hamashiach. You see who you falsely and ignorantly call JC. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahawashi, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, is near in the valley of decision. And what's going to happen on the day of the Lord? You heathen are going to be paid back. For the day of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, for what you've done to the Lord's people, all you heathen, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion, that's the elect of the nation of Israel, shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. You see, y'all are going to have to deal with Yahawashi and Mashiach, man. Micah 5 and verse 15. And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Edom and Basra are symbolic for America. Edom is the so-called white man. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. For in the NLT, for the time has come for me to avenge my people, to ransom them from their oppressors. You see? Who are the Lord's people? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord got nuclear destruction for you heathen and you rebellious Israelites. 2 Ezra 16:13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Your destruction is near, but you have to bring forth that mark of the beast, the RFID chip. It has to be made mandatory. Prophecy has to be fulfilled before the Lord destroys you devils. You see? Chickens is coming home to roost, man. Ezekiel, matter of fact, let's get Amos 9. Salaki. It was Amos 1. Verse 11, thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. You see? That's what's coming. You devils getting ready to pay, man. Jeremiah 49 and verse 22, behold, this is Yahawashi Hamashiach. He shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra, symbolic for America. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. You devils are getting ready to pay, man. Psalms 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, destroy it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. You see, you did to our babies. It's going to be done to you. The Lord said you're going to drink a double cup. Jeremiah 49 and verse 12. For thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunk, and we drunk that cup. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that Basra, America, shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. I have heard a rumor from Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee in the pride of thine heart. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. An eagle, the eagle is America's bird. Y'all got these space stations, these satellites, the Lord's, all that coming down. Also Edom, symbolic for America, the so-called white man, shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. And the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone. He's going to overthrow Babylon the Great, America, with fire and brimstone via ICBM nuclear missiles. Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, an assembly of great nations from the north country, Russia and all his allies, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Right? Those nuclear missiles. Verse 11, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. America was built of the blood, sweat, and tears of the children of Israel. You see, verse 13, because of the wrath of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon, America, shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her and spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahawah. Bahasham Yahawashi is going to be a day of nuclear destruction. You see, you devils are going to have to deal with Yahawashi and Mashiach, man. 2 Ezra 13 and verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. He's not coming alone, and he's not meeting you as a man. Isaiah 47 and verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I would take vengeance, and I would not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, he's the Redeemer of the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee in the darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Yahawashi is getting ready to get down on you heathen, man. He's getting ready to get down on you heathen. Ezekiel 25 and verse 12. Thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel and the kingdom, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power. Y'all are going into captivity, man. Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they had enough. The Lord's going to leave you with nothing. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. The Lord got something special for you devils, man. Joel 3 and verse 19. Egypt, America, spiritually known as Egypt, shall be a desolation, and Edom, the so-called white man, symbolic for America, shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation, for I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed. For Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, dwelleth in Zion. You see? Baruch 4 and verse 6, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you Israelites. You see? Put up them idols, man. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. You see? For when she saw the wrath of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi hath brought upon me a great mourning, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. You see, the Lord did that, put us in captivity. Verse 21. Matter of fact, Salakia. 30. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. This is why Babylon's going to be destroyed. America was built of the blood, sweat, and tears of the children of Israel. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire, nuclear fire, shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. You see, O Jerusalem, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You see, the Lord is gathering his elect by this word. You see? Israel redeemed. He's the redeemer of the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, and that's it. But now, thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Man, the Lord is getting ready to sacrifice you, heathen, for what you have done to his people. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth, even everyone that is called by my name. For I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. And only Israel is called by the Lord's name. Let's get that. I think that's in Isaiah 40. Bear with me. He said, Isaiah 63, we are thine, thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name. Shalom, repent you Israelites.